Hello and welcome to AsianChapter. Today, we'll be diving into the history and current state of relations between Iran and the United States. The relationship between these two countries has been tumultuous, to say the least. From diplomatic relations to sanctions and nuclear deals, the relationship has been fraught with tensions. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the history of this relationship and where it stands today. The relationship between Iran and the United States can be traced back to the early 20th century, when the U.S. was actively involved in Iranian politics. In 1953, the U.S. orchestrated a coup against Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister, Mohammad Mossadegh. This event is still remembered by many Iranians as a dark moment in their country's history and has been a source of tension between the two countries ever since. Relations between Iran and the U.S. reached a boiling point in 1979, when Iranian revolutionaries overthrew the U.S.-backed Shah and took 52 American hostages at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. The hostages were held for 444 days, and the event is still fresh in the minds of many Americans. The relationship between Iran and the U.S. continued to be tense throughout the 1980s and 1990s. In 1983, the U.S. Embassy in Beirut was bombed, killing over 60 people, including 17 Americans. The U.S. blamed Iran for the attack, although Iran denied any involvement. In 2015, the relationship between Iran and the U.S. took a turn when the two countries, along with other world powers, signed the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, commonly known as the Iran nuclear deal. Under the deal, Iran agreed to limit its nuclear program in exchange for the lifting of economic sanctions. However, the U.S. withdrew from the deal in 2018, under the Trump administration. This move was met with criticism from Iran and other signatories to the deal, who argued that the U.S. was regioning on its commitments. In response, Iran increased its nuclear activity, raising concerns about its intentions. Currently, the relationship between Iran and the U.S. is strained. The Biden administration has expressed interest in rejoining the JCPOA, but negotiations have been slow. Meanwhile, Iran has continued to increase its nuclear activity, and tensions in the region remain high. One of the key issues that has kept the relationship between Iran and the U.S. tense is the issue of sanctions. The U.S. has imposed a range of economic sanctions on Iran over the years, targeting industries such as oil, banking, and trade. These sanctions have had a significant impact on the Iranian economy and have been a major point of contention between the two countries. Iran has argued that the sanctions are unfair and violate international law, while the U.S. has maintained that they are necessary to pressure Iran into changing its behavior. Another factor that has contributed to the strained relationship between Iran and the U.S. is Iran's role in regional conflict. Iran has been accused of supporting militant groups in the Middle East, including Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthis in Yemen. The U.S. has also accused Iran of being responsible for attacks on oil tankers in the Persian Gulf, although Iran denies involvement. These conflicts have further heightened tensions between the two countries and have led to increased military presence in the region. Finally, it's worth noting that the relationship between Iran and the U.S. is not just a bilateral issue. Other countries in the region, such as Saudi Arabia and Israel, also have a stake in the relationship between Iran and the U.S. These countries have often taken a hardline stance against Iran and have supported U.S. efforts to isolate Iran. This has further complicated the relationship and has led to a complex web of alliances and rivalries in the region. In conclusion, the relationship between Iran and the United States is a complex and multifaceted issue. From the coup in 1953 to the hostage crisis in 1979 to the nuclear deal in 2015, the relationship has been marked by moments of both cooperation and conflict. Today, the relationship remains tense, with the U.S. and Iran taking a hardline stance on issues such as sanctions and regional conflicts. The future of the relationship is uncertain, but one thing is clear: it will continue to be a key issue in the region and in international politics for years to come. And that's a wrap on our discussion of the history and current state of relations between Iran and the United States. As we've seen, this relationship has been fraught with tensions for decades, and it remains a complex issue to this day. Thank you for watching this video on AsianChapter. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more, please consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. We would also love to hear your thoughts on this topic in the comments section below. As always, we strive to provide informative and engaging content that sheds light on the rich and diverse cultures of Asia. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more exciting content in the future. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.